Hello, everybody. Scott Golden Opportunities Coaching here. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you who are seasoned veterans of what we do around here. We take psychological, coaching, and emotional topics and we break them down into discernible language for your benefit. Please subscribe, like, comment below, do all that good stuff. Today, in this audio, we are going to discuss, let me open my notepad here. We are going to discuss chances that you are burning your mind out, ways in which to know that your body and mind is coming to a place of like, hey, I can't handle any more of this. There's usually, from what I've seen, um, you know, issues. There's about 5 or 6 things that I would cover. And they really all come down to some really basic principles, so we'll highlight those throughout this audio as well. If you're overwhelmed with something for an extended period of time, if you never feel like you get rest, if you never feel like you get a break, if you never feel like things are going to go in your direction, and you can put your mind at ease at least for a few minutes, even long enough to listen to a few songs or watch your favorite TV show or engage in your favorite artistic hobby. If you don't feel like you have that outlet and you're overwhelmed constantly, you will burn your mind out, right? Because the human mind is relatively adaptable. It stretches. But much like a rubber band, when you've stretched too far for too long, that mind, the core of the mind will break. And when it breaks, what generally happens is like, oh crap, I can't take any more. And unfortunately, most of us aren't very good at knowing when we're nearing that line of I'm at the place where I can't take anymore, and we burn out instead. And so we withdraw from the world, and we go into a negative place for an extended period of time. Now, usually this can be broken down into overworking. Whether overworking comes down to the needs of your partner, your spouse, the needs of your employer, the needs of your children, the needs of your family. If you are overworking yourself to achieve certain goals that you've set or markers that you've set or to complete responsibilities you've agreed to, and you've overworked yourself without um, useful distractions. So a useful distraction is just something that changes your emotional state long enough to feel less overwhelmed, even for, like I said, a few minutes, half an hour a day, whatever that looks like. Some people use exercise, some people use entertainment, other people use conversation. No matter what you use, it's rather irrelevant, but having a change in the pacing of your day is essential to avoiding mind burnout, um, which overlaps with the need for self care. If you aren't taking time to do your nails or to um, go shopping for something that's meaningful to you, even if it's something small, or to rest well, take some extra sleep if you need it, eat well, have a purge day of like maybe getting rid of some toxins in your body, but then have an indulgence day. I tell people all the time, at least one day a week should be the day where it's like, hey, I'm going to eat this thing I know I shouldn't, but I want to, and it tastes good, so I'm going to do it anyway. It's all about balance and moderation. Um, Actually, I'm in the process of getting our T-shirts made, Progress Tribe, and you know, one of the things that's there is I'm really coming up with a balance related T-shirt design, so that'll be forthcoming. But um, what's really interesting is it's all about balance. It's all about that need for taking care of. Yes, we have to take care of others because we're part of a social community, but it begins with taking care of ourselves well enough so we have the energy to take care of others. If you're constantly caregiving, caretaking, or making sure that other people's needs are met or other obligations are met, and you are neglecting your self care, you will eventually burn your mind out because the mind can only work so hard before it's like, hey, what about me, you big dummy? And we often do that to ourselves. Another thing is worry too much. So One of the principles that I teach in my coaching practice is that worry is a choice. What we focus on ultimately does come down to a choice. Yes, societal conception may tell us that we have to worry about this or that, but in reality, even if we are parents or if we're caregivers, what we choose to worry about versus what we choose to focus on can often be two different things. Worry about is the focus on the negative outcome that we perceive is most likely or possible through our situation. Um, now, now that's not to say that we shouldn't consider negative outcomes. We should, because being prepared is important. But worry is when we become preoccupied with a negative outcome or negative situation. And that will lead to many negative emotions such as panic attacks, overwhelm, overstressing, and ultimately can lead to depression and other forms of mental illnesses, which is another thing I want to talk about here. If you're really truly struggling in a way that's unhealthy, you'll begin to notice that you become more depressed, and your mind is actually wired to expect negative things. And when you've wired your mind to expect negative things, your body chemistry changes as a result. And so a lot of people who maybe don't have a genetic disposition for depression will find that they end up clinically depressed. But if they go back during their recovery process, they go, well, this is the time I started to always worry about my relationship, or this is the time I always worrying about money. And they'll notice, if they can take the observer seat in a situation, that wow, my life really fell apart when I tried to control whether I had, I don't know, whether I had this amount of money, or whether I had custody of my child, and I went through a legal battle, or whether I could afford a car, or whether I could, whatever it is, whether I could find a partner. When we become obsessed with an outcome, we also heighten our chances for panic and depression and negative emotional consequence as a result. So that's the crux of what's there today. If you're dealing with mind burnout, it is important that you change your focus, and I won't say an expert, but I'm very good at helping people do that. If that's something that you would like, please feel free to reach out. There's two ways to do that. You can do that through Twitter at PO Perception, or you can do that through the YouTube message box here on YouTube. But until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind on the moment. Until next time, everybody.